Hi, and welcome back. For today's class, I recommend having a block, a strap or a towel, and if you have a Swiss ball, which is like one of those balls you can sit on, or if you don't have that, you can grab socks if you're on a slippery floor, or paper plates if you're not. If you don't have any of that stuff, don't worry about it. I'll be able to make do without. So let's get started today. Lie down on your back. We're just gonna take an opportunity to let the tight muscles in the shoulders and the chest relax, to let the groins relax, the hips open, because these muscles will wanna pull on the core in a way that will make you round the spine and compress. So we wanna think of our body as, well, really we're living inside of all this connective tissue. The fascia that surrounds, runs through the muscles, around the joints. And our whole experience of the yoga practice is really our experience of what's happening in the fascia. It is like a sense organ, and so it gives us sensory feedback. So as you give permission for the fascial network, the connective tissue to start to open, you'll give permission for your body to move in new ways. Now we'll use the breath to create even more openings. So as you feel those tight areas, chronically tense areas open, I want you to breathe down into your belly, ribs, all the way up into your chest, and feel how much more expansive the breath can be with the shoulders open and the groins open. And let it out nice and slow. Another deep breath in. And let it out. Then bring your knees together. And as you exhale, flatten your lower back down into the mat. As you inhale, arch your lower back. It's like cat-cow for the lower back. Exhale to flatten the lower back down. Inhale to arch. Exhale to flatten lower back down. Inhale into neutral. Now maintaining your neutral, slide your right leg out along the ground, feel a stretch through the top of the thigh, hip flexor, down through your big toe, and rebend. Then slide your left leg out. But as you slide the leg, don't let it disturb your core or your spine. Feel the spine get even longer, the tension in the front of the hip, breathe down into that. So the more open you'll get in these areas, the stronger you'll be able to be and to be able to use your core. Rebend the knee, stretch the leg out so that these chronically tight areas don't take over and compensate. Rebend, slide the left leg out, always looking for the balance in the body, where to strengthen, where to release. And rebend. Now bring your legs up into tabletop position. Take your arms straight up, press your left hand into your right knee, and then squeeze. We'll do that fascial X, so from your right front hip bone to left armpit, squeeze, and then squeeze from the other side too, left front hip bone to right armpit, like there's seat belts across you. Keep it tight there as you stretch the left leg out and reach your right arm back. And then see if you can slowly explore and stretch deeper through the front of the hip, lower the left leg further, keeping this X tight. And then bring the knee and the arm back up and slowly reach out. If you got a nice stretch in those muscles, you could feel that they could stretch while the abs are creating tension. Back up, reach out, and now hold for 5, squeeze your X's, 4, 3, neck long, chin down, 2, 1. Bring the arm and the knee back up. We'll change sides, right hand to left knee. And then slowly reach the right leg forward and down as your left arm reaches out. Come back up. Slowly reach it out. So we're a little easier exercise to start off, just so we can feel what we want to be working. Back up. Arm, chest, loosening up through that moving left shoulder, slowly reach it out, and we'll hold for 5. Squeeze your X's, knot your neck, lengthen your neck, lengthen your lumbar. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring your knee and your arm back up. Then set your feet down and roll over to your side. Press up onto your hands and your knees. And now on your hands and your knees, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Find your neutral spine like you're on the floor again. Then curl the toes and lift the knees up just an inch. Now maintaining your neutral, not letting the hips wiggle side to side like I put a cup of coffee on your sacrum lower back. Take your right hand a handprint forward, try not to let the coffee spill, and your left foot a footprint forward. Then left hand, right foot at the same time. Then right hand, left foot, you're crawling forward. And then let's crawl it back. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Keep your belly in, keep your fascial X. Right hand, left foot, back. Left hand, right foot, back. Then we'll go forward one more time. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. In reverse. Left hand, right foot, go back. Left foot, right hand, go back. Left hand, right foot. Come back to starting position, brace in your core. Set your knees down, stretch back into child's pose. All right, so now either prepare the socks, the paper plates, reusable hopefully, or the Swiss ball. I'll grab the Swiss ball. And we're going to practice pulling in. Now, if you don't have any of this stuff, you're just gonna work on pulling one knee into the chest from plank position, like a mountain climber, and then alternating. We're gonna work on this. We're gonna try to do this exercise for 1 minute. Now, as we do this exercise, try to maintain perfect neutral spine, good shoulder stability, broad collarbones. So I'm gonna show it on the ball, but modify however you need. Here we go. Collarbones open, neck long. As you exhale from your strong abdominals, curl the knees into your chest. And then reach back out. "50 more seconds on the clock. Halfway there. Now, if you need to progress this exercise, make it harder, you'll lift one leg up and then pull just one knee into the chest on the ball. Of course, getting the other side in too. And this is a great way to prepare your body for the more advanced arm balances. Like for example, one-legged crow, where one knee has to be pulled in and the other leg stretched out. Last 10. If you're on the ball, you can even add in a little twist, pulling the knees to opposite elbow. Great training for side crow. And release. Stretch back into child's pose. If you're on the socks, you can do the same thing, pulling the knees up to the opposite elbow. And of course, those exercises, great for the arm balances, and I show those in the arm balance course, which is all part of your conscious movement community membership. Shameless plug. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Move the ball off to the side, walk your feet forward. Little bend in your knees, let your head drop. Doesn't want to move off to the side, it wants to stay on the mat. Then roll yourself up to stand. Raise your arms up. And fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. You should feel some awareness in your core now. Step back into a plank position, strong in your plank. Hold there. Now brace with your core and raise your right leg up. Change, raise your left leg up. Set that foot down, lower down slowly, chaturanga. Lie on your belly. Press down through your legs. Inhale, roll up through the thoracic spine. Just a little baby cobra to get the middle upper thoracic to start to move. And then see if you can lift the hands up off the mat. Still keeping that movement up in your thoracic. Try not to pinch from the neck or the low back. Bring your hands back down, stretch back into downward dog. Spread your toes, hide your inner heels, hide your outer heels. Open up the skin on the hands, look forward, step or float up. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet, inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into plank. Holding in your plank, brace in your core, collarbones broad, rib cage up. Raise your left leg, squeeze your glute to your heel. Change, raise the right. Change, raise the left. Change, raise the right. Lower down slowly, chaturanga, pause, squeeze your core, lift back up. Lower down onto your belly. Inhale into the cobra or the upward facing dog. Pause, take a breath. Then if you're in the up dog, lower back down and we'll hold the baby cobra hand lift. Squeeze your glutes down. Draw the skin from your belly up into your collarbones and spread wider. Then lower hands down, press back up into plank. Stretch back into down dog. Breathe in your down dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or float up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower chaturanga. Pause, engage core abs, lift straight back up. Lower down onto your belly. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Press down through your left and right, big toe mound, second toe mound gap, and then draw energy from there up into the hip sockets. Pull up and back. Look forward, step or float up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step your left leg back into a lunge, lower your knee down. Inhale, come up, raise your arms. Bring your left hand down and twist, take your right arm up. Bring right hand down, step back, vinyasa. Press down through your right big toe mound, raise your left leg up. Now from that space between the right big toe mound and second toe mound, reach down but pull up into the hip socket up higher. Step your foot up to your thumb. Inhale up onto your fingertips, lengthen in the lunge as you reach the tailbone past your back heel. Then step your back leg forward and fold. Sit back into chair pose. Stand Samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step your right leg back into a lunge, lower your knee down. Inhale, raise your arms up as you drive down through the center of your left heel and squeeze your left outer butt in. Bring your right hand down and twist, take your left arm up. Bring your left hand down, step back, vinyasa. From down dog, reach into that space between big toe mound, second toe mound, and the left leg as you raise your right leg up. See if you can keep the space between your right buttock and back rib. Step your foot up to your thumb. Inhale up onto the fingertips, lengthen. Exhale, step forward. Sit back into the chair. Stand Samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Step your right foot. Set up your back heel for warrior one. Pause, ground through the right center heel. Come up. We'll hold this first warrior one. So feel the tension from your left front hip like it could flow down into your back ankle. So that you can get better lift through your side ribs, through the sides of the lumbar. The tighter this front hip is, the more it's going to pull you under. So like we did at the beginning, breathe down into that front hip. Let the body open. Bring your hands back down. Step back, vinyasa, or you can go right back into down dog. Step your left foot up. Set up your back heel. Ground down through that back heel. Then come right up through the midline, reaching center of the left heel. And then just feel what kind of tension you're still holding here in the front of the hip. Flow that down. Reach down into the space between big toe mound, second toe mound, center back heel. And then at the same time, as you're releasing this tension down, draw up from that big toe mound up through your spine, which sounds impossible. I'm releasing something down and pulling it up at the same time. But feel that from deep through your core, you can connect up and release the muscle tension down that's blocking you from going deeper. So you're drawing up what's sinking, releasing what doesn't need to be held. Then that makes better sense. Hands down, step back, vinyasa, or just go right back into down dog. Look in between your hands from down dog. Step or hop to the top. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Sit back in a chair pose. Stand Samasthiti. Sun salute B. Inhale into chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot. You're one. Inhale, come up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, stretch back, down dog. Step the left foot. Inhale, Vira1, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or hop to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair. Stand Samasthiti. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the right foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, come up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold in down dog. Reconnect to your breath. So as you're holding in dog, feel the flow, feel where the skin fascia feels tight. Let the breath help you to open up those tight, overworked areas. Take one more deep breath in your down dog. Release what feels stuck. Then from down dog, step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up. Open to your side, Vira two. We're gonna go with a little wider stance today. So instead of trying to go heel to heel, take your right foot over the right a little more, left foot forward a little more. Feel from your right inner groin, you can stretch to your knee. So your right ankle, knee, hip are lined up. Back foot's angled in a bit. Hold in warrior two. Hands up in line with your shoulders. Now just feel all the energy and heat that you built through the sun salutations. And with your eyes closed for a moment, feel the flow through your body. The flow of prana, life force energy, moving, pulsing. The body's warmed up. The muscles feel long and strong now, ready to work. Then put your right hand down onto the inside of your foot, blocker floor. Take your left arm straight up. Now externally rotate that left arm, reach it all the way overhead. Take it back up, internally rotate it, wrap it behind your back, hook the outer hip. Now here's where your strap or towel comes in handy. You can hold in the half bind, go for the full bind, or use a strap or towel. Or you can just keep the half bind with the hand on the block. Did I already say that? I think I said that already. Okay, so find the bind that works for you. Reconnect to your breath. Feel all the heat building in the front leg. Stretch through your back leg into your back foot. Then open your arms back up. Press into your feet, come back up into warrior two. Ooh, feel the burn. Now flip your palm up into lateral flexion, We'll go for reverse warrior, opening up the right side rib cage, feeling the left side contract. Come back to warrior two, hands to the mat, vinyasa. There's a bee that's stuck. That's gonna be a bummer if he stays stuck there the whole time. Fly away, bee, it's okay, the door's open. Step your left foot for warrior one. Inhale, come up. Open to your side, Viratu. So we're gonna take this little wider stance today to see if we can feel a little bit more space and opening for the pelvis. It will also help us to connect to the core. When you're on the tight rope, there's a tendency for all this to spill out. So with this space, feel, okay, now I can feel solid in my core. Have that same feeling from the beginning of class, hands up in line with the shoulders, strengthening our delt muscles, which are really important for the health of the shoulders. So as you hold your arms up, try not to hold from the neck. Feel that this muscle right here is what's supporting your arm. Space through the joints. With your eyes closed, you might notice how good it feels to be in your body now. It's like that fascial network, the connective tissue is giving you the feedback, this is good for me, this feels good. Why don't we do this more often together? All right, then from here, we'll go for modified side angle. Put your hand down onto the inside. Take your right arm up. So we'll hold in this position. Now go inward, notice where it feels stuck, and then very mindfully use your breath to open up, to create space. Don't jam, don't force. Take your top arm overhead now. So one of my favorite yoga teachers, his name is T.S. Little, teaches in Arizona, but he has this analogy of like you're an archaeologist and you're digging for something very precious. And so as you get closer, you want to be very gentle and careful not to wreck the thing that you're digging for. So as you're feeling the tense point in your body, there's going to be the tendency, you get so excited. Oh my gosh, I've been looking for this archaeological find for years, this tense spot. Can I get this right now, immediately? And so the tendency will rush and jam and push. Instead, very gently, mindfully come into that area, use your breath to create more opening. It works for me. I don't know if it works for you. Take your arm back up, then internally rotate and wrap it. Let me know after what you think. Stay in the half bind or go for a full bind, up to you. And just feel if you sink too low in your legs, you'll lose the opening in other places. You'll destroy that archaeological finding. Create the opening, create the space to unearth, to bring up to the surface what's been stuck for so long. Open your arms back up. Press into the heel. Feel the outer hip strong. You should feel that outer hip is working like crazy now. Come back up into warrior two. Oh my gosh. Inner leg open. Stay with it. Don't try to escape it. Now externally rotate your left arm into the side bend. Right side will contract, left side will open up. Good, come back to warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Angle your left toes in so your feet are parallel. Stand, extended hands and feet pose. Open up your back ribs. Stand tall. Now turn your left leg inward slightly, right leg turns all the way out for Utthita Trikonasana. Tip from your pelvis, reaching into big toe mound, second toe mound space. And this is gonna connect us to the inner leg line, which is connecting up into the deep front body line, which will help with your posture. So again, let's take more space today, and we're just gonna see how it feels instead of having the heels lined up to go wider so you can get into your core better. So especially people with hip issues, lower back issues, I would recommend doing this regularly. This could be your new standing pose practice. So much more space. It's very luxurious. Big toe mound, second toe mound, draw up, but release the muscle tension down. Always a balance. Where you're sinking, draw up. Where you over-tense to do the draw up, release down. Now bend your knee. We'll step for Ardha Chandrasana. Half moon pose. Instead of trying to jam the foot straight back, you can take it forward a bit to create the same feeling of space. The left foot, that is. The right thigh's turned out so you can feel the outer butt gripped. Hold there or bend your knee heel to butt. Reach back and take your foot. Now I like to do a little bend in the right knee to turn the right thigh and feel the right outer hip. And then squeeze the left buttock to the back of the knee. Soften the lower belly back to the front of the spine. And then draw the skin up into the collarbones, roll the collarbones open and spread them. Open back up if you're holding your foot, bend your knee, slide back into Vira 2. Strong in those shoulder muscles to hold your arms up. Not locked in the elbows, that'll prevent those shoulder muscles from holding you. Change sides. Hands onto the hips. Tip from your pelvis out over your leg. Remember your right foot is over to the right more, so you're not on a tightrope. Hand goes down. Block or not, your call. Find the space between the big toe mound, second toe mound. Connect it up the inseam of the leg, up into the side of the spine, all the way up to that side of your neck. What needs to be lifted, what's sinking, draw up. What tenses up to do that, release down. And again, if you're having difficulty, what is overworking? Go inward. Now you're the archaeologist. Bend your knee. Slide your hand a foot in front of your foot. Step up. You can hold here with the right foot forward a little bit, giving you the lumbar space, or squeeze your heel to your buttock and reach back to take a hold of your foot. Again, I like to bend the knee to turn the front thigh so I can find the grip in the outer hip. And then once I find that, let's squeeze the back buttock to the back of the knee together. Soften the lower belly back to the front of the spine, and then draw that skin up into the collarbones, spread and open the collarbones. Don't lose your left hip. Tendency is going to be to sink and let the thigh drop in towards the inner arch. Instead, draw the thigh up off the inner arch. Squeeze the outer hip up. Open back up if you're holding your foot, nice and steady. Bend your knee, slide back. Vira 2. Hands to the mat, vinyasa. Step your right foot for warrior 1. Inhale, come up. Bring your hands behind your back, reverse prayer, press knuckles together, back foot steps a little closer. Inhale, lift and open up your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Again, find the space between the big toe mound, second toe mound, your front foot. Draw up to create more space, length. Release what tenses up that doesn't need to do that, what tries to overwork. We have these areas in the body that, like the workaholics, they try to do all the work when you try to get something new to move. Now from here, interlock your hands or use your strap or towel and reach up and over. Tighter shoulders, limited mobility in the shoulders. I recommend the strap or the towel. It's going to give you more space to stretch and to open up what needs to be opened instead of jamming from the elbows and locking into the joint. Press down through your feet. Inhale, come back up. Right hand on your hip, raise your left arm straight up. And reach and twist, twist a triangle. Let go of what doesn't need to be tensed. Breathe from your arches up into your spine. Look down, slide your hand a foot in front and step it up to balance, twisted half moon. If it's a little too gnarly to go right into the twisted half moon, why don't you just hang out in a forward fold or a lunge twist. Bring your hands down and fold forward at the front of your mat. Let your head drop. All right, now lift your heels up, lower your buttocks onto your heels. So phase one, from here, we can practice the preparation for Noose pose. Navel softens to spine, we'll twist and hook the elbow to the outside of the knee, hand on the hip. This would be most basic variation of Noose. You could also go for the bind where you wrap and wrap, grab a hold, shirt, towel, whatever. You can hold there, working on this. Now this is the pose that I really recommend if you're having difficulty going into side crow. This needs to be pretty good before you can go into it. So practice going into this. If you feel like, okay, I got that down already, then you can practice hooking your armpit to the knee without letting your hips sit onto your right elbow. You'll put your hands down, swivel your feet up, lean into your arms, and float the feet up. When you're finished with your arm balance, make your way back to downward facing dog through a vinyasa or not, your call. From downward dog, step your left foot. 0-1, inhale, come up. Bring your hands behind your back, straighten your leg, step a little closer if needed. Open up your chest, inhale. Exhale, fold forward out over your leg. Then interlock the hands and reach the knuckles up and over, or use the strap or the towel. Press into your feet, inhale, come up. Left hand to your hip, raise your right arm up. Exhale, reach and twist. Then look down, slide your hand and foot in front of your foot and step up. Or you can go for the lunge twist or go right into a forward fold. Your call, 5 more breaths. Then fold forward, let your head drop. Preparation for Noose pose, squat down. You can put a block underneath your heels. Twist to your right. To your left. Elbow hooks to the knee, outer knee, hand to the hip. Hold there or go for the bind. Hold the Noose pose or go for the side crow. Hands down, lean into your arms and pick up. Work on whatever variation you feel like your body needs. Then release that. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Vashisthasana, side plank. Roll onto the outside edge of your left foot and take your right arm up. Modification, drop your knee down and work on opening up here as you strengthen. Or you can work on the full side plank with the legs stretched out. If you'd like to add on, you could reach down with your right hand, take your right big toe and raise your big toe up. Work the variation that works best for you today. Downward dog, stretch back. Change sides, roll into the outside edge of your right foot, take your left arm up. Feel free to drop a knee down if you like. You can add on with the big toe. A few more breaths here. Downward facing dog, stretch back. Look in between your hands and hop for crow pose. Hook your knees in your outer upper arms, lean into your arms in balance. Or if you have a lot of difficulty with this pose, you can just practice malasana with the feet together. You'll hook your arms around and grab a hold of the hands behind your heels. So this is going to help to open up the tension between the shoulder blades, to get the flexion necessary in the spine to be able to hold a good bakasana. If you already got it though, just hang out in the crow. When you hit your edge, you can't hold any longer, step or float back. Good, then release that. Back to down dog. And hop to seated. Bring your legs up for Navasana. So if you have tight hips and hamstrings, I'm going to suggest this knee bent variation. It's going to help you to get into your core better. But if your hips and hamstrings are pretty open, go ahead and lift your legs up. Keep your core tight and your spine lifted. Lower into Ardha Navasana. Hold the lower belly in, squeeze the ribs in. Come back up in a boat pose. Then take your hands a foot behind you. Roll your chest and your shoulders open. Press down through your feet. Keeping the opening in the chest, see if you can squeeze your glutes, hamstrings, and then start to lift your hips up. Inch by inch, roll the hips up. See if you can lift all the way up until you're parallel to the floor, squeezing backs of the legs, opening up the chest. If it feels too tight and limited in your shoulders or chest, you can just work with the hips down, work on lifting your chest. Then lower your butt back down, come back into boat pose. Lower into low boat pose. Low abs in, front ribs squeeze in and down. Come back up into boat pose. Hands go a foot behind you. Lift your chest up. Preparation for reverse plank or go all the way up. Lower your butt down. Last round, Navasana. Ardha Navasana. Bring your right leg up and twist up and over to the outside of your knee. Change. Go to the left. Change. Go to the right. Go to the left. Back to center. Back up into boat. Cross your legs. Pick up and float back into chaturanga. And make your way back into down dog. Set your elbows down. Down dog on your forearms. Curl your toes, lift your knees, hips up. Lift your rib cage up. Squeeze your right buttock towards the back of your knee as you lift your left leg. Change. Raise the right. Lower that leg and walk into plank on your forearms, and we'll hold for 5. Good. Slowly lower your hips down. Sphinx pose. Then bend your right knee like you're doing a hamstrings curl. Squeeze your heel towards your butt. Then you can hold there or angle the left arm in, reach back with your hand and catch your foot. Now, if you feel that you're in too tight, too much back bend, you can scoot the elbow more forward. It doesn't have to be as upright, and that will give you more space in your lower back so you can get into the quad and the hip flexor a little bit better. Release that and change sides. And then release that. Lower your chest down, bend your knees, and see if you can reach back with both hands for the feet at the same time. And then if you have the mobility in your thoracic spine, start to roll yourself up. And then you can add the shins. You can reach the shins back and up to help with the extension. But just feel how the lumbar and the neck will tend to hinge, keep space through the lumbar and through the neck. Lower yourself down, rest one cheek on the mat. Then clasp your hands behind your back or use a strap or a towel. Go back up. Engage the backs of the legs, roll the chest and the shoulders open. Feel the backs of the legs turn on, the glutes firm towards the backs of the knees. Lower yourself down, rest the other cheek. And then place your hands for upward facing dog. Roll up. Stretch back into down dog. Now I'm going to give you the option. You can do a supported back bend over a foam roller, or we can go for camel or camel preparation. So for camel preparation, you'll come to a kneeling position, walk the hands back, roll the chest, shoulders open. For full camel, stand up on your knees, hands on your hips, back bend from your upper back, lift the skin of your belly up to your chest, and then reach back and put the hands on the heels. Hold for 5 breaths, whichever one you're going to do. Then come back up, sit back on your heels, interlock your fingers, left index finger on top, raise your arms up. Bring your arms back down. Stand up on your knees, do camel round 2, or walk your hands back, camel preparation. Lower yourself back down. Interlock the fingers, right index finger on top. Turn your palms inside out and reach up. Bring your arms back down, stretch back into downward dog, except we're gonna make the dog a little bit shorter so that you can ground your heel bones. So it's halfway between dog and like a narrow leg prasarita. And then from here, I want you to bring your left hand to your right outer shin so that you can twist. Release, place the left hand down, right hand to the left outer shin, twist. Then option invert. Take your feet even wider, walk your hands back and let your head drop, Prasarita Padottanasana, or go for headstand. Now, this isn't a class to teach the headstand. If you're looking for that, check out the arm balance course in the conscious movement community, and you're going to learn the exercises, the foundation, the stretches that you need to be able to do this pose safely with good alignment. Slowly come back down. Make your way to child's pose. Come back into downward facing dog. Single leg pigeon. Now, if single leg pigeon bothers your knee, then you can practice Gomukhasana or double pigeon. Otherwise, you can hang out here in the single leg pigeon. Stay up on the hands or go onto the elbows. Your call. Here I'm showing Gomukhasana, which is another variation of the pigeon hip opener. Holding for 5 more breaths, whichever one you're doing. Then stretch back into downward dog. Change sides, bring the left leg up. Single leg pigeon or the Gomukhasana or any other hip opener you want to hold. Release that. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Raise your arms up. If you have sensitive lower back, tight hamstrings, put a little bend in your knees or a lot of bend in your knees. As you exhale, fold forward. Lie down on your back for Savasana. Let your palms turn open. Let your feet fall open. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Fill your lungs from the bottom all the way up. Let it out. Completely let go. Go with the tension in the feet and in the legs. Let go in your hips and your groins. Let your abdomen soften. Your chest, shoulders, hands relax. Let go of the tension in your arms, your jaw, your tongue. Feel all the muscles in the face soften. Release the tension in your scalp. And as we draw our attention into the connective tissue, anywhere in your body where you're still feeling tension, on your next exhalation, let it drop down, past your feet and away from you. Each exhalation, relax deeper and deeper. And gently bend your knees. Roll over to your side. And press yourself up to seated. Bring your palms together. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy these longer classes, then you're gonna wanna sign up for the Conscious Movement community. I'm gonna put the link below in the description, and you can try it out for 2 weeks free. That's where I post all of my longer classes, as well as the handstand course, the arm balance course, and the Conscious Movement course, which is gonna take you from whatever level that you're at in yoga and help you to progress, advance, and deepen your practice. Check it out, click that link, and try it out for 2 weeks free. I'll see you next time. Let me know below how you enjoyed today's class. If you have any questions, always look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.